Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I am talking with my hands again and I really can't help myself, but nevertheless, I want to touch on a subject which you've probably noticed by the title, my go-to pew pews. Now, you can see I've got one or two, but I do have my favourites, the ones I pick up pretty much all the time. Unless the weather permitting, then I go to gas blowbacks. These are all AEGs. Now, with AEGs, that's the electric ones for those who are not in the know, they're the most reliable. And in the colder weather, you use a softer hop-up rubber. And in the warmer weather, you can use the harder ones. You can get away with it a little bit better and lift them heavier BBs. Now, getting away from the hop-ups and all of that, I'll do that in another video at some point somewhere. I figured for my start to the new year, by the way everybody, and everybody who's watching this video, Happy New Year, and may you all have the best of airsoft pew pew times ahead of you. Let's get to it. Now, a good number of years ago, when I first started out, I decided on a specific pew pew for airsoft. Oh, quick one, disclaimer, YouTube, everything in this video is an airsoft toy and is only for the airsoft sport. Got it? Good. Right, let's carry on. Now, I decided my first pew pew had to be short because I was doing CQB stuff, and something that I liked. Now, this has always been a big issue. Which is the best airsoft one to get? Well, I don't really think there is a best unless you're spending vast amounts of money to have all premium parts. And even then, things happen. It's not always, and it's definitely less likely, but things do happen. So really, it doesn't matter how much you spend, that is always going to be your choice. But with some of the cheapest pew pews, you can end up getting the very best of them. And I do mean the best. Which leads me to my very first pew pew, the New Pro Freedom Fighter. Now, this thing come with one Stanag high capper. The foregrip was included in the deal. Pistol grip and the foregrip are the only bits of plastic on this gun. Shocker. And it only cost me, at the time, 180 quid. Now if you can find them, they're generally about 240, maybe a little bit more now because of the reputation they've gathered. Now, the reason I went for this one, collapsing stock. Now this has the toughest spring on it for the stock, but it becomes a really good size. Really usable. You see where I'm coming from, dudes? Yeah, I'll put the torch on it and the red dot. Nice cheap bits, give it a good look. But my reason for it is that practicality, because I just wanted to use it as a straightforward quick in, quick out, quick in, quick out, quick in, quick out. This was perfect, and what a fantastic thing it is. But it does have one minor niggle. The batteries are not very big, so you need at least a couple for them, and they have to be a specific size to fit in this tube. Now I'm going to re-engineer this tube, get a bit of material moved from the inside so I can get slightly wider ones in and maybe slightly chubbier ones. But this is all metal. That whole shooting match is all metal. Not the best grade of metal I might add, but still metal. And this thing stood the test of time, even with that Very rare on guns these days, that. But yeah, go-to gun. The new Pro Freedom Fighter Pew Pew. Yeah. Pew, 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 pew. And what a good fun gun it is. So there was my first one. Now, with that, I bought this Marusian bespoke airsoft pistol. That bespoke, it's almost impossible to get spare parts for, and definitely impossible to get magazines for. They just don't exist anywhere. I even tried contacting Marusian once, and I was met suspiciously with radio silence. Marusian, get your act together. If you want to sell your pew pews, you can't be quiet. You got to speak to people. Got it? Anyway, so this ultimately has only been used a handful of times and is consigned to the shelf. So, what would I use with my Freedom Fighter? I used a Glock, not this 19, one of me C18, but anyway, for reference, it's a Glock, which inevitably updated to this Umarex VFC one, which is bloody exceptional. It really, really is. Woof, for a little pew pew. But the Glock was the perfect little sidearm to have in my side pocket there for quick, close quarter engagements and tight corners. You don't have to have a pistol in the game, but I don't know. I think it's more of a style monkey sort of airsoft pew pew. So yeah. Anyway, that was to go with that. Now, where did I go after that? Decided Heckle and Koch was my thing after that, to a degree. And yeah, I stepped up my game and went sort of DMR full auto style with the double bell 416 with many other numbers after it. And this, oh, first gameplay, I had a great day, but I did something really bit dim. I was spamming the trigger like holy hell on semi, and inevitably it lost some teeth. Yeah, this happens in airsoft. Wear face protection, but it also happens to these bad boys. Now, I thought to myself, I absolutely, oh, just in case you're wondering how I know it's a 416 exterior like that honey badger, see that little round lump there? All 416s have that little round lump there. On M4's the square. Right, now we've got that out of the way. I replaced the gears with Red Dot Engineering gears, which have turned out to be absolutely fantastic. I've also replaced the barrel and hot rubber, and it has made it an awesome bit of kit for range. Accuracy is really, really good for such a budget gun at 220 quid. And that scope works so bloody well. I really like it, and that was cheap too. Well, that was only about 65, 70 quid, not fortunes, and perfect for airsoft. So yeah, the 416, what a fantastic bit of kit. Oh yeah, can I see me? No, I'm all blurred. Anyway, yeah, the 416. I do really love this thing, and I do pick it up a lot because it is just so much fun. And the point I'm trying to make is a lot of airsoft, pew pews are based on personal opinion. These are my personal opinions on what I like. So that is theoretically what I went after. Now you're probably asking yourself, what kind of pew pews in the handheld form did I go for with this rifle form? Well, let's just get to it and have a quick look-see. And I can tell you now, for absolutely nothing, this PX4 Storm Airsoft Pew Pew has had a lot of outings. Now, these have one predominant flaw, but they shoot really well. The trigger spring breaks, so you end up with a floppy trigger. I fixed this one, and I actually went out and bought a box full of the springs that I've used to fix this, and you have to unwind them a tad and cut them down and reshape them, but they work. The trigger return spring works really well. Trigger feeling a bit but it works. It's also double action as well. For a modern pistol, that is very rare, so you can just slam a magnet, start pulling that trigger and it will fire, believe me. But it feels nice in the hand as well. It's just got really comfortable form to it, and a nice little gimmicky thing with this rotator lock. Nice, very well thought out WE, very well thought out. I don't know who copied who, whether it's Tokyo Marui or any of the others that got involved in it, or the HK or Hong Kong division of this gun, of this gun's company, not saying any names, had them fully licensed, which it would have been nice to get hold of one of them, but you know, the time I actually got into it, all these things were disappearing and becoming quite rare, so I ended up with a WE version, and still, it's a fine feeling pew pew. One of the pew pews I'll never get rid of. No amount of money's buying this. I love it. Right, where have we got to now? My absolute, I take this thing everywhere, whether I use it or not, pew pew. Let's just budge that. There's another one down there. This is a bit of a shocker, this other one. My absolute go everywhere Airsoft Pew Pew is none other than the Aries. And I can tell you for nothing. Between me and a couple of chums, we adore this rifle. This is exceptional. Now I'm going to be popping a new hot rubber in this. The one that I put in there is a silicone based one, and it's not very good. The one before it, which was a standard, was quite good, but I've got a new Maple Leaf 70 there, so I'm going to give that a try. Get it bedded in, you know, the usual stuff and this, that and the other. But I do take this thing everywhere, and it just works. And it keeps working. Now, with airsoft, they're all made of pot metal and cheap grades of aluminium, and I did drop this and I broke off one of the tabs that hold the upper receiver down. The other one's still in place, so it's still respectably solid and it still works fine. But you can't bash these things about. Remember that. They're not made like the real stuff. And mind you, some of the real stuff can't even take a bashing. Some of that's absolute crap. But nevertheless, this goes everywhere with me. And I do adore this thing. Ooh, talking about upgrades. Hang on, let's just finish this bit of the story off. Now, the gun that I like to take with that one, and I do bring it out quite a lot now, that I've tinkered with it and done a little bit of adjustments. Why wouldn't you? Come on, a Desert Eagle, WE Desert Eagle, fully licensed by Cybergun, and with a little bit of tinkering with the hop adjustment screw. In other words, it's not being flat, sharpened to a point like I said in previous videos. It rides up that hop arm and it gives it the perfect hop, and oh, you know, full travel slide. Oh, it's out of gas. Oh dear, I really wanted to show that off, old boy. Let's put a squirt of some go-go juice in it and we'll go from there. Might have gone a bit dry and started being a leaky peaky. Yeah, it started being a leaky peaky. Yeah, it wants a bit of love. They'll get some. They all need tinkering with. Yeah, they give you a good old thumperooski, these things. And like I say, since I've tinkered with that hop-up screw, it sends them. And it pretty much sends a good weight BB and a fair old distance, bit of a shocker. And as straight as a die if you keep your barrels clean, remember that. Dirt in your barrel will send your BBs in all directions, up, down, left, right. Don't matter how good your hot rubber is. If it's hitting crap out, going down the barrel, it's going to spin it in different directions. Remember, keep your barrels clean. Look after your pew pews, like I need to do here. So yeah, the Desert Eagle generally comes out with that, because this thing is good fun. And I found a holster for it. Yep, friction held. Not bad. Not trustworthy, because that's why my hand's here. But yeah, holster with a little Desert Eagle symbol on it. How good is that? Anyway, right. Now then. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot about. On this bad boy, I have changed the hop-up unit, and it has turned this thing into something else. I think it's an ENG or something like that, something silly named, aluminium, all very posh and clicky. But yeah, this thing now works really, really well. Very happy with how this actually does work. I just got to sort out the battery situation with it, so yeah, nevertheless. Right, now then, we're getting to the end of the video, guys, of my go-to pew pews, and the shocker of the year. Didn't see it coming whatsoever. I thought it's going to be a nice looking pew pew that fitted the ideals that I had in my mind to go with a specific type of multicam tan sandy coloured loadout type stuff. And yeah, the Mark 18. This is a shocker of a pew pew, and respectively priced, anywhere between, I think it's 170 and about 220, depending on the shop and the company and this, that and the other. But yeah, what an amazing bit of kit. Very basic, no ECU in it, just a basic micro switch, motor, stock internals, tight bore barrel and hop up rubber, reasonable. But my god, this thing shoots straight as a die, and it is absolutely brilliant. Where you point it, it goes. You know, for a Mark 18, Jesus Christ, Evolution Airsoft has pulled the blinder. Now, I did see him with ETUs, and the price obviously goes higher, because you're looking at like a £100 part in the gun where you can control your trigger. But for the basic one and the money you pay for it, whoa, what a thing. And where there's metal, it is metal, and where there's plastic, there's plastic. And it, again, it sends them. It really does. It surprised a lot of people, and some of the people I've actually taken out with it have said it thumps hard. But it is shooting within the UK legal range, so no need to change any springs, no need to do anything to it. It was just out of the box, and it's still going strong now. And if you look back to the unboxing video of this, you'll see how long it's actually been running for. And that's the Evolution Mark 18. Stunner of a gun, beautiful finish on it. I do love that bronzed colour, I really do. That just looks so nice. But yeah, it really did turn out to be a shocker of a Pew Pew. What could I say? Happy, happy, happy. And therein lies my point which I started with. It's all about the look. You can buy them, they can be great, they can be okay, and some of them can be absolute pants. Now, if the pants, send them back to the shop, and don't forget the shop is only the middleman, but they take on a certain responsibility to repair anything that's pants with stock, basic, standard parts. I'm not complaining about a certain one that I keep ranting on about, but oh, that was windy. Lamb, leg of lamb, nom 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 nom. Right, that was actually quite gross to say that on video. Nah, never mind. Right, yeah, stock out of the box, faultless, love it. And it works. And what do I run with that? A selection of my 1911s. This one was sold to me as a scrapper. Gave it a clean, give it a little bit of twiddling, fiddling here, there and everywhere, and it's turned out to be an absolute fucking blinder of a Pew Pew. This has a hard kick and also, like the Desert Eagle, can send them. Yeah, it's amazing the shockers that turn up in the world. This actually came with me, what do you call it, Punisher gun. A good friend of mine wanted something of mine, which I was kind of reluctant to get rid of, but that'll be another video. And this was included along with the Punisher, because that one that I got rid of was quite expensive and all trademarked up. So yeah, this actually turned out to be a bit of a surprise gun. The WE rail, because it's got a rail on it. Yeah, bloody good gun. And I had to do nothing to it either, really, just a bit of lubing up and oiling and cleaning, this, that and the other, which again leads me back to a point. You've got to look after your Pew Pews. If you don't, then you're going to be buggered. So that is my beginning of the year video for the first of the first 2025. Happy New Year to everyone, and may you have the best of airsoft times and continue to enjoy the sport. And all newcomers, look forward to seeing you on the field, because a lot of old boys, people that have been at it a lot longer than I have, will welcome everybody. Go up to them and talk to them, say hello. People are genuinely happy that you've come to play and have a look at the game, and will do their best to give you a positive start to the airsoft world, just like they did for me. And I'm an old fart. My mate Tactical D and Full Auto Paul, well, they're just characters in themselves. Love them to bits, great guys. So from Airsoft Alpha Dogs, once again, may you have the best of times, and I will see you out on the field in 2025. Be safe, play safe, always call your freaking hits. Till next time, guys.